Scientists here believe they are on their way to developing a new treatment for cancer, perhaps one that may even prevent secondary cancers from forming. Over the last 12 years, researchers at the Cardiff University School of Bioscience have been looking at a gene called BCL3. Through their research, they've discovered that it's responsible for the shape of breast cancer cells and how they move. So now they're using that information to develop a new treatment, which could potentially stop the spread of breast cancer to other parts of the body.
As the tumor grows, parts of the tumor might break off from their original site and move around the body. And we think that BCL3 plays a very important role in this. And this process is termed metastasis. So if a patient comes to the clinic with a metastatic cancer, what has happened is the primary tumor has now started to migrate around the body. Now, having identified BCL3 as a very important gene in this process, we then turned our attentions to trying to inhibit this gene using a chemical agent.
To do this, researchers have used advances in 3D technology to help them model proteins around the gene in specific detail. They've looked at the interaction of two proteins and designed a drug to interfere with that interaction in a way that would stop the spread of the cancer cells.
What we've been successful in doing is taking through from studies in the biology lab through to drug design, synthesis in the chemistry lab of new drug candidates, and then testing those in models of metastatic breast cancer. We've now got to a point where we've kind of shown proof of principle that what we've designed to target the specific gene product, BCL3, has a real effect in breast cancer models.
According to Westwell, the drug works by attaching itself to the protein within the BCL3 cells. In doing so, it prevents the cell from interacting with other proteins, which means it can't spread to other parts of the body. First, the computer models were tested in the laboratory and were found to be successful. Then further analysis showed that the compound they've developed stopped the spread of breast cancer cells in mice. Clarkson believes eventually the drug will have the potential to become a therapy in breast cancer treatment.
So the idea for this new potential therapeutic strategy is, as soon as a patient comes to the GP's clinic, is to give a patient a therapeutic such as this, so that would stop the process of metastasis, this migration around the body, in its tracks. And while then the surgeons and the clinicians are looking to try and treat the primary tumor, for example, in the breast, then we know that we've stopped the progression of the disease to the more dangerous form of metastatic breast cancer.
The Welsh cancer charity Tenovis says the development of the drug may possibly help more breast cancer patients.
Thanks to the advances in research and treatment, the good news is that the majority of women who've been diagnosed with breast cancer will survive the disease. But sadly, for a number of women, the disease will come back, it will spread, and therefore this research is really important. Because if this research can be translated from the laboratory into the clinic, it can provide a much needed new options of care for many thousands of women.
Equally, the charity is keen to stress that the development of a drug is still many years away and may not be effective against cancer in humans.
I'm always wary of labeling things as massive breakthroughs because often research doesn't work like that. Research is usually quite incremental, and we're all really working together and pushing in the same direction to achieve a common cause, which is to improve the lives of people affected by cancer and hopefully come up with treatments that will help them survive the disease.
Longer survival and better treatment is what the research team at Cardiff hope to achieve. They have now been given funding by a drug company to take their compound through to phase 1 of clinical trials, but there are still many more checks and balances needed before they get to that stage. It's likely to be another 2 years before that happens, and the first human patient is given the drug.